Have you ever wondered why you can't get full marks for your science questions? Or do you find photosynthesis questions difficult to answer? The process itself is fine, but somehow the questions are just unreal or difficult. Hi, I'm Mr. Long, and I'm your science teacher today who will cover these two areas with you. This video is part of my Words Have Meaning series. Now let's take a look at the first question today. We will be tackling two questions. A plant was placed in a container of water and left in a tightly sealed glass tank filled with only carbon dioxide. Let's take a look. So this is the container with water, and it has only carbon dioxide inside this container. A lit lamp was placed close to the glass tank for 2 days. So lit lamp. Lit means it is switched on. Now, explain the process that took place to make oxygen present. Now, I know instinctively you would write down the word photosynthesis. Alright? But before we get to whether this answer is acceptable or not, let's do a quick revision of what photosynthesis means. The formula that by now you should be very familiar with would be, in the presence of light and chlorophyll, plants require a gas called carbon dioxide and requires a liquid called water. When all these four ingredients are in place, then plants are able, through the chlorophyll in the leaves that will trap the light, together with these two, carbon dioxide and water, to produce oxygen, a much needed gas by living things for respiration, as well as sugar, which is food. Alright, or sometimes some books may say glucose, but we will keep it simple and we'll just talk about sugar. So remember, these are the ingredients, these are the conditions, and the products. The products will be these in pink. Now when I say product, I mean things that are being produced. These are the products that are being produced. Okay, and this part here in the center, these are the conditions. It must be bright, there must be light, chlorophyll must be present. And this, I will call them the ingredients. It's like when making chocolate chip cookies, you definitely need chocolate chip. Otherwise, well, how can you call it the chocolate chip cookies? So this whole process here requires these ingredients under these conditions to give you these products. Now we've understood this. Now let's take a look at this. So is light present? Yes, there is light from the lit lamp. And how about chlorophyll? Well, since this is a plant and there are leaves, we assume chlorophyll is present. Is there carbon dioxide? Of course there's carbon dioxide. Is there water? Definitely there's water. So the conditions have been fulfilled. The ingredients are present. So we will expect oxygen gas and sugar to be produced. So they say explain the process. Now I come to the part where I say words have meaning. It says explain the process. The question is not, it is not state the process. The question is not identify the process. Because if the question is state the process, this answer will be perfect. If the question is identify the process that took place, this answer will be perfect. The problem is this question is neither. It is about explaining the process. In other words, your answer got to talk about all of this and not just give a one word. If you just write photosynthesis, it is actually wrong because you're not answering the question of explain. Get it? This is what I mean by words have meaning. So, how did this process work to produce the oxygen? Alright? So, well, I will try it this way. To produce oxygen. Now, I'm a person who likes to bulletproof my answer. Bulletproofed it. So, I'll make sure everything here is in. To produce oxygen and sugar, the chlorophyll See, in the leaves have to trap light and carbon dioxide and water must be present too. Let's read this. To produce oxygen and sugar, comma, the chlorophyll in the leaves have to trap light and carbon dioxide and water must be present too. So by explaining this, I'm telling you this is a process. Now another question can also be describe. If the question is describe the process, this answer will also be perfect. Get it? Describing the process is not state nor identify. Next one. Which product of photosynthesis is a source of energy for the plant? Now, in my checking of the students' work, I noticed that a lot of students ignore this word because they just look at source of energy for the plant. And they thought it must be light. However, that is not the case. Light is used by the plant. Light energy is used by the plant to make food that it needs. Remember in the P5 work, it talks about food carrying tubes. The food carrying tubes are carrying food. This food. The food carrying tube isn't carrying light. So light is not the source of energy for the plant. Sugar is the source of energy for the plant. And the product of photosynthesis, these are the products. So which of these is a source of energy? Clearly the answer is sugar. Or you can say glucose. Alright? These two answers, either of these is sufficient. So to sum